What's up everybody, my name is Awais. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to build another application in Java. So the application is going to be a currency converter applications. I'm going to give you a demo of the application, what we're going to build in this video. So I have this application here and you can see that first thing we need to select the currency from. So I'm going to select the currency from, let's say we select the US dollars. And then we're going to select the currency where we want to convert. So let's just select the currency. I'm going to select AUD. Now the first thing is just click on convert. Once you click on convert, it gives you $1 is equal to 1.3226. This is a dynamic input. It's automatically updated because we are going to use a SOAP web service to build this application. If you're not sure about SOAP services or RESTful services, then I'm going to do a full course on those technologies, and stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel and that course will be up soon. But today I'm going to give you a quick tutorial how to use SOAP services and build this application. Let me just show you one more thing here. Let's say if I give $10 US and is equal to AUD, it's going to give me that $10 is equal to 13.22 AUD. Alright, we can change all the currencies of all the countries that are available here. So let me just show you the Pakistani currency as well. So I'm going to select PKR. Let's convert that. So $10 is equal to 1047.0 PKR. Alright, so this is a fully dynamic application. It updates automatically. And let's go and start building this application. Let's just close this. And now in netbeans we are going to create a new project. So let's just click here to create a new project. Category is going to be Java FX and project would be FXML. It's the MVC pattern. So let's click on next. We are going to name our application currency converter, and it's telling me that already exists there, so we're just gonna change the name because I already built that application. So currency rate, and then let's just click on finish. It is going to build a project for us. Let me show you the service we are going to use to build this application. I'm gonna open my browser, and on the Google you need to type currency converter and type WSDL at the last WSDL file. So it's gonna search for us and you need to select this first link, WSDL file. Let's just click on it. This service is provided by webservicex.com. It's a free service and you can use this to build this application. I'm going to show you how to build it. So we got this WSDL file open now, and let's go back to netbeans. Our project should be created now, and now let's just open the FXML file and let's get rid of what we don't need, because netbeans always create a default application for us, which is a hello world application. I'm going to right click on FXML document.fxml, and we need to get rid of this button here, and we need to get rid of this label as well. Now first let's set the size for this anchor pane. So select the anchor pane, and then let's go to layout, and in the layout just give the size whatever you like, but I'm gonna choose 300 by 300. Alright, so we have our anchor pane set up. Now we need a few things in the design. We need a combo box, we need a text field, label, and a button. So first let's just add a combo box. So I'm gonna type combo box, and then we're gonna drag and drop that combo box to our anchor pane. Let's just increase the size for that. We're gonna keep the same layout for the application. Now we have one combo box. I'm gonna click here in a hierarchy, Control C and then Control V to copy that combo box and just drop it here. I'm not sure if I make that arrow, but if we don't make the arrow, it doesn't really matter. You can do it by yourself. So now we have two combo boxes. We need a text field to add some numeric values. So let's just decrease the size for that. Right, that should be fine. And then we need a label for our results. First let's add a button actually. So let's select the button, drag and drop somewhere here. Let's just increase the size of the button as well. It's gonna look good if it's the same size as the combo box size. So now we need a label for the result, so type label here and then select the label, drop the label here, increase the size for that as well, and increase size a little bit here. Okay, should be fine. Select the label, get rid of the text. We don't need that text there, so I'm just going to increase the size. Alright, now we have two combo boxes. We have a text field, we have a button to perform our action. Let's just type convert, right? Okay, so let's just save the file, go to file menu and click on save. I've already saved it because pressing Ctrl S will save that automatically. Now we have created our design for this application. Now let's go back to NetBeans. The first thing we need to do is we need to get rid of a few things in a controller file. We don't need this label and we don't need this action event as well. Let's just get rid of them. And let's just clean up a little bit, and we're gonna get rid of these comments. I don't like them. Let's just remove all the unnecessary imports. Now we have set up our controller file. Let's go to the main currency rate.java file. Here we're going to add stage.set resizable. I'm not sure if I should do it, but let's just make it false for now. And then we're gonna run the application. Let's just run it and let's see if it's working. And the next step is going to be adding web services to this application. Alright, so our application is working. If I click here, I don't see anything right now in the combo box. We're gonna fill up these combo box with currencies. So now let's just close this, and the next thing we're going to do is adding a web service. How do we add web service? It's fairly simple, but if I show you the default process, that's going to be a command line operations. That's going to be a lot of work. So what I will do, I will use NetBeans functionality to add the web service. So right click on your project, click on new, and then click on web service client. It's very simple. Okay, so if you have a local file for WSDL, you can do that as well. I'm not going to download it because it's going to be a dynamic application. So let's select WSDL URL, and now we're going to go back to the browser. We need to copy this, right click and copy this WSDL file. Make sure the WSDL is written at the last. So this is the file you need. Now let's go back to NetBeans and just paste that. I'm trying to right click in NetBeans, it doesn't work. So what you have to do is Control V here. Okay, so once you press Control V, it's gonna paste that here. Let's click on generate dispatch code as well. Let me just click on finish, and it's going to access the internet and access that web service for us. And now there's another folder here which says web services a reference. Let's just double click on that, and it's just telling me to please wait. Okay, so in the web services we have this currency converter, and this is a WSDL file. As you can see, that's the same file which has been imported by NetBeans. Now let's just close this file, and there's another folder which is generated for us, generated source dax-w. You could do that with different ways as well, but this is the most easiest way to use a web service in NetBeans application. Now open this net package. So in that package we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10 classes, right? Now how to find out which class to use, right? So let me just go back to WSDL file, because this is not the tutorial for SOAP services, that's why. Otherwise I'll do the full course how to use XML and integration XML in Java. That's a different story. So now we need to focus on one thing. If you go down at the WSDL file, you will see this WSDL service name currency converter. Okay, oh shit, okay, yeah. So the port name is currency converter SOAP. So these two files we need. Now if we go back to NetBeans, and you can see that we have currency converter.java and then currency converter SOAP.java. So these are the two files we need. So first thing what we can do here is we need to add those FXML objects in our controller file. So how do we do that? Very simple. Shift press add rate and then type FXML. That's a tag. Now it's going to import that javafx.fxml file on the top. You can see here. Now let's just create a variable for that. So let's just say private, and the type of our object would be combo box. Alright, and then here you see that it's giving you suggestions. So combo box, so we have something T here, right? What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna add that currency class. So type currency, and then type the name of your combo box. So I'm gonna name it box 1. Okay, so what is a box 1? Let me just import that first. Let's import this for net.webservices.currency file. So let me just show you the currency file as well. We have this currency file. So in that currency file, if we go down here, I'm just gonna expand that. Now in the currency file, we have enum file, right? So in that file we have already had this AFA, ALL, all the currencies ISO codes are available here. So we can use them to populate our combo box, right? That's very easy for us to do instead of just typing them again and making a release. So what I'm going to do now, first let's just go to controller file, and we have added that, but this box 1 name hasn't been added to this box. So let's go back to scene builder. Let's select the first box, and then we need to go to the code. In the code, we're gonna tag it with FX ID, which is going to be box 1. Press enter, Control S for save. Let's just add the IDs for other combo box as well. So if I click on this combo box, now I'm gonna name it box 2. Okay, let's just save that. Now let's go back to NetBeans, and now it should be fine. Let's create another FXML. So FXML, now we create private combo box, and here we're going to type currency, and then we're going to tag it with box 2. Okay, so now we have 2 objects here to use, right? Now first thing what we need to do is we need to create a few things here. Why not we just go back and then do the label thing as well. So let's just select this label, and in the label I'm gonna name this as result. Okay, you can choose your own names, doesn't really matter. And then we need a text field as well. So for the text field, I'm gonna tag it with, let's just type number, or maybe let's just type digit. Okay, we won't need this, but we just store it. So here we have this button. We don't need to add that ID because we're not going to use it. We're going to use the action performed for this button. Now let's just save it, and let's go back to NetBeans. Now we need to create a text field. So FXML, and then come down private, and then we're going to type text field, and then we're gonna name that. What was the name? I forgot actually. So let's go back and then select this text field digit, right? I'm gonna name it to easy. I'm gonna change the name to num. Now let's go back to NetBeans, and then we're gonna name this with num. Okay, we have that. Now we need 2 variables. First variable is going to be double. I'm going to name it result, and then we need another variable which is going to be double as well, and let's just name it value. So we have a few variables here, and now it's time for us to populate our combo boxes. In the initialize method, I'm going to go down here, and then we are going to use this initialize method to populate our combo box. To do that, we have the combo box, we set the type to currency, right? So this is the class currency.java. This is what we're going to use. It's an enum, and we go back to controller file, and then we are going to type this code here to populate. So we're going to use the object, which is a box1, and we're going to type set items. Come on, give me a suggestion. Okay, set items. Now we're going to use the FX collection framework. So let's just type FX collection, and then in that FX collection we're going to call a method called observable list. We'll just type observable array list. Alright, and here we are going to pass in currency, okay, dot values. So what it's going to do, let me just do that the second box as well. So box2 dot set items, we're going to use the FXML collection framework dot observable array list, and in that we are going to pass in currency dot values. Okay, so now we got that in initialize. Let's just save it. And what it's doing, basically we're using this box1 object, which is a combo box. The type is currency, and then we are going to set items using FX collection framework dot observable array list. We're creating array list here, and we're passing the currency dot value. So whatever the values in this currency class, this one, right? So this is what we have in them, and these are all the values we have, right? Let's go back here and let me show you how our program looks so far. Let's just run the application. I'm just gonna click on it, and it should have all the values of enums. Okay, as you can see, we already populated our boxes. One more thing I want to do right now before I forget it, I'm just gonna go to scene builder again. Let's open the FXML file. We're gonna type this in the properties. We're gonna type the prompt text. So let's select currency, okay, and then for the second one, let's type to currency, whatever you want to type here, it's up to you guys. All right, so we have two of them set up now. Let's go back to NetBeans. Now we have populated over combo boxes with these enum files. That's pretty much it is for this function. Now let's go and create an object on the top from two of these classes, what we're supposed to use to get the data from this web service. This is going to be our currency converter, and then we need to use the currency converter SOAP, which is our port. Okay, so to create an object, simply just type the class name, so which is currency, I hope I spelled it right, currency converter. Should give you suggestion. So this is a class from this package. Select that. We are going to name it, let's say obj is equal to new currency converter, and that's it. We've created the object from that. Now we are going to use the second class, which is our port class. So type currency converter SOAP. Okay, and now in that class we are going to name our object, let's say get currency is equal to, now we're going to use that object obj dot, there's a method in it, get currency, that's get currency converter SOAP. This is the method we're going to use, and that's it. So we've created two objects now. Now we've created the objects, but what we want to do now is we're gonna add action event for the button. So let's just save this file and let's go to scene builder, and we're gonna select this button, and in the code section we're gonna name over on action event. So let's just type action, I don't know, action done. That's gonna be our method, should be fine. Now let's go back to NetBeans. Let's create that action event. So type FXML. We're gonna tag it. So let's just make it public. and void, and then the name, which was action done, and in that we're gonna type action event and then it event. That's it. Alright, so we have created that event now, and in that event we are going to create two string variables first. Let's just type string, I don't know what to name, but just say value1 is equal to, now we need to get the value from this box. So what we can do, let me show you. So let me just preview this first. So once I select one of the currency from here, I want to get that text. So to get that text and store that in value1, what we can do, we can use that box1 object, and I'm going to call the method get value. So there should be a method get value here. Yep, get value, and then we're gonna make that two string and two uppercase. Why we're making two uppercase? Let me just make second string variable value2 is equal to, now at this time we're gonna use the box2, and then I'm gonna explain to you guys. So get value dot two string dot two uppercase. Now once we get the value from our combo box, which is, let me just go back to currency.java file. Where is it? Okay, so in this file, as you can see, we have all of these enum types in a capital letters. Okay, so once we get the text from our combo box in our controller file, alright, so we want to make sure that we have that string value as a capital letter, because we're going to pass that in. Now once we get that letter, what we're going to do is we are going to use our result variable, which has a double type. So just type result is equal to, now we are going to call an object what we created here, get currency. Okay, so once I call get currency object dot, there's a method in this conversion rate in that class, in that currency converter SOAP class, so which needs the currency type from currency, which is going to be a string value, and then currency type to currency, which is going to be a string value in a capital letters, and the type is a double. Let's just select that. Now by default it's giving us currency.cny, currency.cny, but what we want to do here is we want to pass in that value1 and then value2. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that currency here, and then as a capital letters, 3 capital letters, right? So we got the 3 capital letters from the box 1, and we stored them into value1, right? And I made sure that it's in uppercase with this method. So let's just type here dot value of string name, which is going to be value1, okay, and the second one is going to be value of string name value2. And if you are confused about where this value of a method come from, this is come from actually this class. So if we go to down to currency.java file, in this enum class we have this from value method, which has a string parameter, and then it returns the value of method, right? So this is why we can see that method in our controller file, value of string value, which we are taking from this string variables. Okay, so we got that. Now it should work, and we have to set the result to our label. So do we have the label set up yet? We have the text field set up, but we don't have the label set up yet. So we're gonna go back to scene builder, select that, and then the ID is result. Just gonna change that to, let's say, label. Okay, because we have this, not to confuse, we have this result variable which we are passing in here, so we're just gonna change that to label. Now let's just add that label to our controller file, make it private, and then type is label, and then name is label as well. Now we can use that. So far what I can do here, I can basically just, I don't know, maybe I'll just type label here, and then I can set text, okay, and then we can just set the text of here we can say value, well, we can type string dot value of double, okay, and then double value is going to be result. Okay, that's done. That's done. Okay, why I use this method is because the type of this result is a double. As you can see on the top, we could change that to float or anything else, but we have the type on the top which is double. That is why I had to use that string of value of this result, which is a double value. Now if I run my application, and I would just simply, okay, so now we have an error here. So the error is okay, let me just find the error, why it's giving me an error. We have the action done button there, we have this button, we have the initialize method there, we create the object as well. Alright, so the error we got is, I can see that red, I forgot to import that label actually. That was an error. So let's just run the application and let's see if it's setting the value of, okay, still giving me an error. This is because we need to do something here. So we got this string, the value of that string, we set that to label. I'm just gonna save this file, and there's an error in the program, we're gonna fix it. So I'm just going to open FXML in scene builder. I want to make sure that my action event is perfectly set. So if I select this button here, and then I want to make sure that this on action event is properly set. So I'm going to select this action event, alright, and then let's just save it, and let's go to the controller and we make sure that we selected the right controller. Let's save the file, let's go back to NetBeans, and we're gonna open the FXML file, and this is giving us an error here. So action event done, it's an error here right now. So what it is basically, this is the action event. We are going to make sure that this is spelled right. Instead of, I'm just gonna cut this code, I'm just gonna get rid of this code here, and we're gonna just create another method. So FXML, I'm gonna name it public void, and this time get conversion. Okay, we'll just change the name. So let's type action event, and then we're gonna paste the code here. Let's just save the file, and we're gonna go to scene builder now. Let's select this button, and now we're gonna select from here. We need to open this file again. Let's just open that file. There's gonna be a lot of issues in the programming, guys, so don't worry. And then we're going to select from here get conversion and save the file. Let's go back, let's check our FXML file. Now it should be fine, and then we're going to go back to, and then we're going to run the application, and let's see. If it's not, then I will figure out the issue, and then I will show you guys what's going on. Shouldn't be any error. There's a problem here with invoking this FXML file. Alright guys, so we are getting an error here in this code. I'm just going to show you, this is the FXML error here. I just found the solution. On the top, the import is wrong. So I'm just going to get rid of this import, and we are going to import Java FXML action events. I'm just going to get rid of action event. Okay, and then we click on this bulb, and we make sure that we import the right one. So let's just click here. We haven't imported that, so let's just go up the top, and we are going to import Java fx dot scene. Okay, maybe action event dot action event. We're just gonna find out what's going on with this, so let's just get rid of it. I'm not sure what is it, so I'm just going to get rid of this code from here, and then we are going to get convert. Okay, so I'm gonna just tag FXML. We're gonna create a public void get convert method. I'm gonna type action event. Okay, so we haven't imported yet, so if I click here it's gonna ask me to import something, so action event. Okay, still an error, guys. Let's just click here. It's not giving us an let's just create something on the top. I'm just gonna find on the Google. So the code we have here is we need to import javafx.event.action event. Okay, so it should fix the problem now. Now in that we're gonna paste the code again, and let's just fix it up. Actually, we need to bring it backwards, and let's just alright, let's run the application now. It should work. Alright, it's working now. So I'm just gonna click on this button and let's select some arbitrary, and then we click on convert. It should give us 4.9800, whatever the conversion rate was. So now we got the conversion rate, it is working, but now we're gonna do some add some functionality to our code. I'm just gonna get rid of this label for now, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna use the if statement. We're gonna check if num, okay, dot get text is empty. Okay, if that is empty, then what it should do, and we're gonna add else code here, else, and that's it. So if the num, whatever the num is we have, let me just show you what it means. The text field, we added that fx id to num, so that means if there is nothing in the num, then it should print out on the label. So select the label, we're gonna add set text to label, and then in the set text we can pass in, let's say 1. Let me just do that 1, and then space here, and then we're gonna concatenate it with empty with the, let's say, string dot value of value 1. So where is it? Double value. We need to select value of value 1. Okay, so what it's going to do, it's going to get the value from that combo box and print it here. So we could get 1 plus the currency name here, and then we're gonna concatenate it with is equal to, just add in a quotation, so is equal to plus, now we need to get the result, which is our result variable. So let's just say string dot value of, which is a double as well, so let's just say result. Okay, now concatenate it with our the text from the second combo box. So to do that, we're going to use string dot value of double, and then we can pass in a value 2 here. Alright, now that's done. Now what if there is a number in the thing? So for that, we are going to use a value object now. So type value, this is our double. On the top you can see that we have this variable, double variable named value. So we're going to set that value is equal to, we're going to use double dot parse double, and then we're going to get the text from the num. So num dot get text. Okay, and next line is going to be, we're going to add another variable. I'm going to name it, let's say converter. Let's just name it converter is equal to, we are going to multiply, so the value we get from the box Alright, this is going to num.getText. So whatever the value we get, we parse in as a double and we store that in the value variable. Okay, and now what we're going to do here is we are going to simply multiply that value to over result. So type result. So now we have multiplied. Now there's one thing I want to add here, that the value when we convert to, let's say, $500 to Pakistan rupee, it's going to give you after the decimal point, it's going to give you a lot of digits. To fix that problem, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use that converter object variable, sorry, and we're going to make it double parse double, and then we are going to use a class new decimal format. There's a method format, and then we are going to pass in the format first. So the format is going to be in quotation. I'm going to type dot, and what we're going to do, we're going to type hash here. Okay, and then next we are going to use the format method dot format. Okay, there's a problem here, guys. We don't need double parentheses here, so we're just gonna get rid of one parenthesis. Now if I type dot, I don't get any option, but I'm gonna type format here, and we are going to pass in our converter object here. Alright, it should work. There's a problem here, decimal format hasn't been imported, so we have to import that. Let's just click on this bulb, and then we are going to import that. So let's just go up here. We're gonna make a bit of space, so I'm just gonna import. I'm going to type Java text dot decimal format. Okay, we typed the wrong one here, we got text. Okay, there's still an error here, we got some. Okay, let me just type that on the top, guys. Maybe we have bloody issue. So import Java text dot decimal format. This is the class giving us a problem here. So this is the class decimal format. Now there shouldn't be any error. Now we fixed that, and let's go down now. Now we're gonna just print out our result to label. To print out result to label, just type label dot set text, and here we are going to pass in the value first. So where's our value variable? Okay, and then we are going to concatenate. I'm going to concatenate first empty string as well, so to make a space here. So concatenate again, string value of double, select this double one, and we pass in a value 1. Okay, so what it's doing, we're going to get the value which is coming from our text box, text field, and then we adding a space here, and then string dot value of value 1. So the value 1 is stored here. So what was the value? What of the currency was selected, that's the value here. And then we are going to concatenate. Let's just concatenate it's equal to sign one more time. So let's just type equal to sign, make a space here, and then we're going to use string value of double again, and then we are going to pass in our converter. So let's type converter. So this is the converter object. Basically this is a double variable there, but we use that variable. So same thing. Now we got the result. Okay, and then we are going to concatenate with empty space again. We can say empty space, and then concatenate string value, string dot value of double, which is going to be value 2, which is coming from our text box. And let's just go make sure it's fine. Alright, so let's try our application now. There's an error in FXML controller file. I'm not sure what is an error, but let's run the program and let's see what is the error we get now. Okay, there is no error. That's really good. Now let's just select the random currencies, and I'm just gonna click on convert. Wow, we got the result. So 1 AWG is equal to 6131 ZDG. We need to add a space here between this. So 1 2 1 2. Now let's just add a space here. That didn't work actually, so we are going to add a space here. I'm just going to concatenate with, let me just run the program again and let's see if there's an error. I didn't get the error, but let me just select the US currency here. So let's just use USD, and then I'm gonna convert that to AUD. Right, so I'm just gonna click on convert. That's the space we need to add on the top because this is empty, the text box is empty. So if I type 10, this should be fine now. Alright, so this is fine, guys. So if there is only one, there's no there's no number here, then we didn't actually convert our this variable. What of the result we're getting, we didn't convert, and we pass in this decimal format class to make sure that we get true values after the decimal point. That is why it's happening here, 3231. So let's just add a space here. We need to add a space here. So let's just concatenate with empty space and run the application one more time. And let's just type empty space. So it's gonna give me an error because there is nothing selected. We're gonna add that functionality in a second. So let's just select some random currencies and then we get the result 1.322. Okay, so if you wanted to do, you can add this converter. Maybe that's not a converter. Converter is just for this class to get the values, to multiply the values actually. But you could add another variable here and you could use this decimal format class to make that decimal as well. But so far so good. This is an application we built. This is a currency converter application. For the last time I'm going to show you guys, you could add the CSS to make it more look nicer, but this is the basic functionality. And we got the label there, we got everything set up. I can set up the, let me just go back to main.java. We can set the title. I'm gonna stage.set title, pass it currency, see converter. Okay, and there's a lot of things you could do. You could add like let me just pull up the application again. You could add like, you know, a reset button as well. You can add the reset action event on that, so it will just make that select. Let's say if you have selected these two currencies, right, and you want to have a reset button, once you press the reset button, it should make these two combo boxes to empty, which is going to be select currency and to currency, right? You could add that functionality, very simple, guys. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe, and if you have any questions about this, let me know in the comments below, and I will be back with the next video on Java FX. We're going to be developing a course on JDBC as well and web services as well. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Cheers.